Now, first of all, I am depending on your, hold on just a second, I'm going to look at something. So just bear with me a second. TCTC, Math 110. And let's see what the homework looks like. Chapter 3, homework. Four sections of homework on Chapter 3. Okay, I'm not very happy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and maybe 13. 13 out of 26 have actually worked on Chapter 3. Well, the rest of y'all, I guess you're just going to be SOL because I'm going to keep on going. All right, so let's look at the homework question that was sent. Homework question for today, the only one that I have is 3.3. Let me turn back on the present screen. 3.3. I'm doing two things at one time. 3.3, 29/14. Is this a test question? It's a good question. Yeah, I like this one. It says solve the following equation. I think this is the only one we didn't get to last time. I can't remember. So this question, let me turn on the handy dandy do-jigger. There we go. Make it smaller, bring it down. And we're going to do x times 3x minus 8 is equal to 28. And I'm going to distribute 3x squared minus 8x plus blank is equal to 28 plus blank. I've got to factor out a 3, so that's going to give me a 3. That's going to give me x squared minus 8/3 plus blank is equal to 28 plus 3 times blank. And then I'm going to divide 8/3 by 2 and square it. 8/3 times 1/2 and square it. And that's going to cancel that out. And that's going to be a 4. I get 4/3. 4/3 squared is 16/9. And that's going to give me 3x minus 4/3 quantity squared is equal to, I'm going to go up here and work on this a little bit. That 3 will cancel with that 9 and leave a 3. And 3 times, that'd be a 4. 3 times 2 would be 84. Somebody check my math. What's 84 divided by 3? Somebody check me and see if it's 28. What's 84 divided by 3? That means I want y'all to interact with me.
Yeah, it's 28.
Okay. And 84 plus 16, well, heck, that's going to be 100, isn't it? And there we are. We're at, and don't forget, your y-intercept is negative 28. Remember that. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to put in green. Y-intercept is 0, negative 28. If you brought that over, the original equation, that'd be negative 28. And these two are x terms. So it'd be 3x squared minus 8x minus 28. So that would be your y-intercept. Here, we got a vertex of 4/3, comma, negative 100/3. And let's see what the x-intercepts are. So I'm going to divide by 3 over 1. Divide by 3 over 1. Multiply by 1 over 3. And that's going to be x minus 4/3 quantity squared is equal to 100/9. And I'm just going to go over here and finish it. X minus 4/3 is equal to, well, that's positive or negative 10 over 3. And x is equal to positive or negative 10 plus 4 over 3. And what's 10 plus 4? That's 14. So that'd be 14 over 3 is 1 x-intercept. And negative 10 plus 4 is negative 6. That'd be negative 2. I think those are the two x-intercepts. So let's graph it and see if everything lines up. I'll just leave that on there for a couple of seconds. Hold on, somebody's got a question, or is that in another class? Okay, is my audio going in and out?
A little,
Okay.
but not too bad.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Miss Davis?
I said it's a little bit for like a minute, but then it came right back, so I don't think it's bad.
Yeah. I don't know. There's nothing, well, I take that back. There is something. I forgot. I've got a couple of things that are on. I need to turn off my, hold on just a second. Let me see if, I got this phone app that tells me what's using my internet. So let me look at it right quick and see if I got anything draining on my internet. While y'all are, go ahead and graph that. Yeah, I've got everything blocked. So the only thing that's on my internet is this computer. So, because my son uses hotspot for his school. So I don't know what's up. Think old AT&T, I guess. Which I live like 2,000 feet off the road, so I can't get the other one, whatever it's called. What's the cable service called?
Spectrum.
Yeah, I can't get Spectrum, so they won't run it down my driveway. I guess not.
Ours kept falling because our driveway's so long, so they had to bury it.
Oh, so they did run it down your driveway.
They did, yeah. We are like probably at least 200 feet back, and they had to bury it because every winter when the storms come through, it
Well,
knocks
you're
it down.
200 feet. I'm 2,000 feet. So
Yeah.
they wouldn't run mine. Okay, so here we go. Let's draw it and let's see what happens. And hopefully some of y'all are, by the time, well, I'm only talking to 15 of y'all because the other 15 haven't done a lick of homework, so I don't know how they could understand anything. But anyway, the 15 that are doing homework, you should be realizing that everything revolves around the quadratic in this section, and you should be seeing that the complete the square will just about answer everything. Hopefully you're seeing that. Of course, the ones that aren't doing the homework, they're not seeing any of this, and that's their problem. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this is our x-intercept at 28. Positive 4/3 and -3 will go into negative 100, negative 33 times. So that's going to be 1 1/3 and negative 33. Let's see, I said 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 33 would be right about there. And my x-intercepts is -2. Well, my -2, that's 5. -2 would be right in there. And my 14/3, what is 14/3? That's 4 1/3 or 4 2/3. 4 2/3. So that would be, that's 5, 4 2/3. It's kind of thin. Somebody tell me why it's so thin. Why is it so thin? That's when you need to interact with me. What tells you that it's thin? When you first start the equation, chapter 2 material, what tells you that it's thin? That means I want somebody to answer. And don't tell me you don't know, because that's bullcrap. Okay, we'll just sit here till y'all look back in y'all's notes, chapter 2. Oh, come on, people. It's not the horizontal shift, it's not the vertical shift, but what tells you? Okay, there is a funny face. What tells you vertical compression? Okay, there you go. You're getting there. What tells you that? That's vertical stretching, horizontal compression. But I know what you're talking about, Mr. Cash, but what tells you that? Not the horizontal or the vertical shift. What tells you that? The 3. Good job. I am so proud of you. A tells you it's going to be skinny. Chapter 2. It's not chapter 3, that's chapter 2. Okay, so that's why it's skinny. That's okay. You're excused. All right, so it's skinny because of that 3. So domain is all real numbers. Range is equal to negative 100/3 to infinity. Decreasing, negative infinity to negative 4/3, or to 4/3, sorry. And increasing from 4/3 to infinity. Line of symmetry always goes through the vertex, and that's going to be x is equal to 4/3. Now, I don't know what they're asking in the question, but that's That's all that I will test you on in chapter 3 is all of this. Not in one question, but there's about 4 or 5 different test questions on this problem we just did. So let's see what they're asking. Because sometimes they ask some essay questions. The solution set should be 4/3. I'm sorry. Let's see, it says complex number. We don't have any complex numbers. So it should be parentheses, -2 is our x-intercept, comma, 14/3, close parentheses. Oh, shoot. Close parentheses. That should be our solution set. I must have typed something in wrong or they don't like it. Use a comma to separate answers needed. Support your answer graphically. We did, but let's see what they got. Now see, that's bull crap. Because they have been saying put parentheses around everything, and then the one time you put parentheses, they say don't. Okay, that would be okay. And then I thought they said do it graphically. I don't see any place to put a graph, but why would they put that says support your answer graphically? Okay, I guess I don't see any place for a graph. That's a good test question. I don't like the way they did the answer. Oh, they had braces already. I didn't see, maybe because they had braces. I don't know. Okay, so that's a trivial thing there. Any questions on that one? That's it. So
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I get it when you go over the problems, but then when I'm doing the homework and you hit like help me solve this or whatever like that, and you're trying to see, an example of how they do something.
Probably not the way I did it.
It is not. It is completely different. They give you different formulas, and then I get like.
Okay, that's when you send me the question, Miss Davis. But go ahead.
I was gonna say then I start doing them that way, and I just end up getting all confused.
Okay, first of all, I tell y'all, I told y'all this first. If you ever have a question about a question, send it to me. Just send it to me. Okay, so you should send me that question right now. You got it on your computer? Send it to me. Okay, if you got it on your computer, send it to me and we'll go over it. And I need to see what they're doing differently. Do you remember what they were doing differently?
Yeah, I can send it real quick. I had it pulled up.
We'll do it.
Okay. I've been working on them before class. I just don't.
That's fine. But squeaky door gets the grease, and we got people in this class that are not talking to me. They're not asking any questions or not sending any questions. And then they're going to, this test is going to be, we're going to have this test on chapter 2 and chapter 3, and there's going to be a lot of people crying, and I'm sorry. Squeaky door gets the grease.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. It's just not wanting to load for me.
It's a conspiracy.
It is.
I'll wait for you. I ain't got anything else to do because nobody else has sent me questions. So we'll just have the pre-test Wednesday.
Yeah, I think this is one of them. So I'm going to send you this one. Done.
Tell me when you send it so I can look for it.
Okay, it says sent.
Look there. Wow. Do y'all see that? That was very, very hard, wasn't it, Miss Davis?
I just don't like asking a bunch of questions.
Well, y'all have better get started used to it because I don't know how old you are, Miss Davis, but you're in college now. And if you don't ask questions, teachers won't answer them. I mean, they'll just keep going. Okay. Okay. You better just send me questions. I don't care what you feel, okay? You send me questions. The squeaky door gets the grease. This thing this like taking out a girl on a date and you take her to a nice restaurant and she goes, "Oh, I'll just get a glass of water." Shut the hell up. That irritates the crap out of me. I'll just get a salad. Oh, shut up, Hubert. All right, this is 3.421/11. Okay, first of all, when I see this question, okay, this is a stupid question. This is you have every right to have a question on this question. This is one of that.
There's like 3 or 4 of these.
Yeah, these are questions that go with that new math, okay? They're talking about a box, okay? And the box is 2.2 times as long as it is wide. So you got 4 this way and you got 4 that way. Okay, that's where the 4s come from. Because what's 2 plus 2? 4. So you got this way, you got 4 added, and this way you got 4 added. So that's where the 4s come from. All right. Let's see. Basically, they get, if you understand the first part A and B, then you're going to get this. All right, this right here, I don't even care anything after this right here because I'm going to take this and it is decimals. So you would use quadratic formula here. Okay, so I will, and I'm not a fan of quadratic formula because, what does that say? We only respect women. Okay, I will agree with you on that, Miss Bronson. I will agree with you. Yeah, I will agree with you on that. I sure no. I don't want to go to, no. I don't want to have a date that has a memorial service for the steak you're about to eat. No, don't want one. All right, so anyway, Miss Davis, was you able to get to C without any problem?
Yeah, I can get all the way down to C, but
Okay.
the quadratic formula that they give, it just
Okay.
does not make
Well,
sense.
I'm going to show you both ways to do this. Okay. First of all, let's write it down. I'm going to write it down and I'll put my whiteboard up. Let's see. 4.4 x squared minus 25.6 x plus 32. Now, there's 2 ways to do this problem. One is to clear the decimals and multiply by 10 and do it by completing the square. Okay, that would be 44x minus 256x plus 320. Okay, now 32 is your y-intercept, so you can go ahead and write that down over here. 0, 32, that's my y-intercept. Okay, but if you're going to clear the fraction, you can do it this way. All right, and then you can say, okay, 44x minus 256x plus blank is equal to negative 320 plus blank. And then factor out a 44, x minus x squared, sorry. And I don't know, does 256 divide by 44? Can somebody check that on your calculator right quick? 256 divided by 44. Is it even or is it a decimal?
It's a decimal.
Okay, then don't do it then. Okay, then I'm going to just go 256 divided by 44 and we'll reduce that. Plus blank is equal to negative 320 plus 44 times blank. Now, 256 over 44, I'm going to go over to another page here. I'm just going to do 256 over 44 divided by 2. That's going to be 22. And 2 will go in there. 1, 2, 8. Y'all check me on this, please. 64 over 11. See if y'all get 64 over 11. I think 128. Somebody just check 128 times 2 and see if it gives you 256. I think it will. 64 over 11. So 44 x squared minus 64 over 11x plus blank is equal to negative 320 plus 44 times blank. Okay, 64 divided by, or 64 over 11 divided by 2 over 1 and square it. 64 over 11 multiplied by 1 over 2 is equal to 64 over 22, which is going to be a BA number, but somebody go ahead and give it to me. What's 64 squared? $64 squared. Somebody give it to me.
4,096.
And 22 squared.
484.
All right, so 4096 over 484. 4096 over 484. See if 484 is divisible by 44, please. Without a decimal. Does it give you a
11
decimal?
times.
11?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So that 44 will cancel with this. Make that 11. And multiply 11 times 320 for me.
It says 3,520.
Plus 4096 over 11. So take negative 3520 and add 4096. Tell me what you get.
Um, 576.
Is it okay? 576. Is it it's positive? 576. Okay, so there.
Priority 1 message coming in on secured chat.
That right there is your equation, right there. Okay. Now we've already got now our vertex. We got to, let's see, we've got to divide by 10. So your vertex is going, and that's only going to affect this one and this one. So if I divide by 10, that's going to give me 4.4 x minus blah, blah, blah is equal to 57.6 because I multiplied by 10 here. So that would be 4.4 and this would be 57.6. So our vertex is going to be positive 64 over 22, comma, negative 57.6. That's our vertex. Okay, and now we're going to solve for our x-intercepts, because I have no idea what they're asking, but I guarantee you they're going to ask for x-intercepts. So here we go, and you can leave it 4.4. 4.4 x minus 64 over 22 is equal to 57.6. Divide by 4.4, and if you would, take 57.6 and divide by 4.4, please. What do you get? 57.6 divided by 4.4.
13.09.
And go ahead and take the square root of 13.09 for me.
It is 3.61.
And turn 64 over 22 into a decimal for me.
$2.90.
And x is equal to positive or negative 3.61
Wouldn't it be
plus
2.91?
2.9. I'm sorry, what?
Oh, I was just gonna say if you rounded it more like to the hundreds, it'd be 2.91.
Thank you. Miss Davis, you let me down. Okay, so let's see, that'd be 6.52. Somebody check me, 6.52. And then somebody take negative 3.61 and add 2.91. I think you're going to owe, what, 70 cents? Negative 70. Somebody do those two additions right there and tell me what y'all get.
Negatives 0.7.
And did you get 6.52? When you added them? The positive 3.61 and positive 2.91?
Yeah, it's 6.52.
Okay, so I think we've got enough to draw our graph on to see if we've done everything right. And remember, the graph is just to see if everything lines up. If everything lines up, chances are you've done everything correctly. That's what the graph is for. So I've got a graph that looks like and it's going to be a skinny graph because you got 4.4. So 0.32 is going to be down here or up here. Our vertex, that don't look right. Yeah, I guess it is. 64 over 22, y'all said was 2.91. So that's going to be 2.91 on this side and negative 60 basically down here. And a y-intercept of negative 0.70 and 6 point, yeah, that'd be about right. That y-intercept, no, that's not right. That y-intercept needs to be negative 32. Did I write down the problem down wrong? Okay. Well, let's go over to the quadratic equation and let's see what we've done wrong. That's why you have the quadratic equation for this problem. A is equal to 4.4. B is equal to, I'm writing this down, so hold on. B is equal to 25.6 or negative 25.6. And C is equal to 32. Well, negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 2A. No, what is it? B squared minus what? 2AC. I done forgot the quadratic equation. Negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 2AC over 4A. Is that it? I can't remember the quadratic equation. I suck.
4c over 2a.
4AC. 4C over 2A.
Yeah, 4ac over 2a.
4AC over 2A. I thought it was AC over 2A. There we go. Okay, so negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC over 2A. And the only reason I didn't remember it is because I don't use it. So that's going to be negative parentheses plus or minus parentheses squared minus 4 times parentheses over 2 times parentheses. So B is negative 25.6. A is 4.4. And B and C is 32. All right, I want everybody to crank that through their handy dandy calculator and give y'all a couple of seconds to do that. We'll compare it to our other, what we got with completing the square. Well, that's going to be 25.6 plus or minus the square root 25.6 squared. 25.6 squared. By the way, this is not a test question. 655.36 minus 4 times 4.4 times 32. 563.2 over 8.8. 25.6 plus or minus the square root of 655.36 minus 563.2. 92.16 over 8.8. Let's raise that 92 to the 0.5 power. 9.6. So 25.6 plus or minus 9.6 over 8.8. Okay, so 9.6 plus 25.6 divided by 8.8. 4.4. I got point. Is that a point? No, it's 4. So evidently I did something wrong. So we got one x-intercept of 4 and 25.6 minus 9.6 divided by 8.8. 1.8. 1.82. Now we got to find the vertex. Now to find the vertex, you find negative b over 2a. That's your x. Okay, so negative b over 2a. Negative b is 25.6. Negative 25.6 divided by 2 times 4.4. So that's 25.6 divided by 8.8. So 25.6 divided by 8.8. 2.91. That's one x-intercept. I mean, that's your vertex for your x. Now you got to take v of y is equal to, and you got to take your original equation and plug in 2.91. That's why I don't. This is why I don't show the quadratic formula. 4.4 parentheses squared minus 25.6 times parentheses plus 32, and I'm going to plug 2.91 in there. So that means 2.91 squared times 4.4. I get 37.24, 37.24, and then 25.6 times 2.91, 74.496 plus 32. So 37.24 minus second answer plus 32. So my y is negative 5.26. Negative 5.26. So my vertex is 2.91, comma, negative 5.26. Now let's see if all this lines up. Let's take our handy dandy graph. And I got a vertex of 2.91. That's right there. And negative 5.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not 2.91 to be here. And 5.26 be right in there. That's our vertex. Our y-intercept is still, that 32 still don't look right. I'm going to leave the vertex out for a second. My x-intercepts are 4 and 1.82. 1.82, okay, that would work. And 4 is right there. So yeah, looks something like that. So here we did the, but I'll tell you what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna do this again by completing the square on my own, and I'm gonna get it to come out right, because you can do this by completing the square. And I think where I went wrong, I think I should have waited before I multiplied by the 10. So if you do it without multiplying it by 10, you're probably going to get the same answer. And I don't have enough time because some of y'all are going to explode if I don't shut up. So
I was just on this one, back on the question, it's doing it for like area, so length times width. It's not really doing it for graphing like we've been doing.
yeah. And what you're going to do is see what I got for x-intercepts. Well, where are my x-intercepts? I'm trying to find them. Okay, well, if you take 2.2 and multiply by x, you're only x, you got two x's, you got a minimum volume of 1.82 and a volume of 4. So, okay, I'll look at it and I'll explain it better, but this is not a test question. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about there. I'll work with this one and I'll have it for you Wednesday, okay? And I'll work it both ways.
I'll find the other ones that were giving me problems and send those
Please
as well.
do. I don't understand why y'all don't send them to me. That's what I'm paid for.
Well, I feel like if I sent all my questions, that would be like one whole class at least.
I don't mind that. That's what, if y'all don't send me questions, how am I going to answer them? I don't understand y'all sometimes. Okay. I'm going to shut this off, move this, shut this off.